If you can hear my dogs chewing in the background, no you can't. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing the Booktube Newbie Tag. So I have my questions, I have all of my answers here, and we're just gonna get right into it. The first question is, why did you start this channel? Here's the thing. I started this channel because I've truly always wanted to post YouTube videos just because I enjoy editing them so much. I just enjoy the creation of it all. Also, a lot of my friends and family are not really readers. So whenever I talk to my friends and family about books, they're just like, oh, that's nice. So I just wanted to create a space for people that I can talk to about books. I find myself after a crazy chapter, I literally talk to myself out loud as if I'm talking to a camera. I just need to get it out verbally, what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling about these books sometimes. What better place to put the videos than YouTube? So that is why I started this channel. Yes. The next question is, what are the books that got you into reading? Back in the day, it was definitely Hunger Games, Divergent, and what else did I write? And Percy Jackson. I was in 6th grade when I first discovered Percy Jackson, and it was also because I was obsessed with Greek mythology back then, and I was just so blown away by the fact that I was taken into this whole other world without having to leave my room, and that was the coolest feeling as a kid. The next question is, what book genres do you mostly read? I would definitely say romance. Romance is pretty much all that I read. Romance, dark romance, romantasy, a little bit of fantasy. I would love to get into other genres, but I'm not ready to dip my toes in other genres just yet because I'm really loving romance. I don't feel the need to change just yet. That leads me into the next question. What book genres do you read the least? And that would definitely be YA and horror. And I don't want to say thriller because I do like a romantic suspense. Yeah, definitely YA and horror is ones that I don't really see myself reading. I have read a YA before, and that was Caraval, and truly, I just didn't love it that much. It just didn't appeal to me. I'm 23 years old, and not that YA is not entertaining, it's not, anything. I just couldn't connect to the characters because they were young. And horror too. I've never been a scary movie person, so I'm not gonna be a scary book person. The next question is, what is the book you tell everyone is your favorite? The one that I tell everyone is my favorite is probably going to be The Right Move by Elle Kennedy. Elle Kennedy? Why did I just say that? By Liz Tomforty. The Right Move by Liz Tomforty is my favorite. Would probably be my favorite of this year. I don't like saying an all-time favorite. That would be a completely different category in my brain. It was just every single trope, the characters' personalities, the banter, just all of the aspects in the book I truly enjoyed, which was 6-star for me, truly. And that entire series too, Windy City series. I could not speak highly enough about those books. Hands down, definitely one of my favorites. The next question is, what is a book that everyone else loved but you didn't? I mentioned this in one of my other videos. That one is going to be Phantasma. It just wasn't my favorite. I feel yeah, a lot of people really enjoyed it, and I just couldn't connect to the characters. The idea for the plot was there. I was sat, I was ready. I was okay, we have these 9 deadly levels, and you win a prize at the end of these games, and there's gonna be a hot phantom guy, and there's gonna be this whole thing. But the relationship was lacking for me between the main female character and the MMC. I just was not loving their dynamic, and it was just kind of all over the place for me. And okay, the next question is a book that definitely deserved the hype. That is going to be Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing was so good. I'm thinking back to the first time that I read that book, and I couldn't get enough of it. I truly was just so in love with the dragons. I was geeking out over these dragons. Our main female character quite literally bonded with 2 dragons. One being the most powerful dragon, and 2 being a baby dragon that can stop time. Don't even get me started on Xaden Ryerson. and it definitely deserved all of the hype it got. Okay, next question is a book that you read the fastest. And I am proud to say this, okay? This book was really good. That would be Praise by Sarah Kate. I've talked about this ad nauseum, but this book was so good. Praise by Sarah Kate took me a little bit less than 24 hours to read. I will say it was kind of a shorter read. I think it was around like 350 pages. Like the way it was written and the storytelling was just so fast paced that like I just couldn't put it down. That is the book that I read the fastest this year. So the next question is a book that you think deserves more hype. And for me, that was Forever Never by Lucy Score. I read this one earlier this year. I kind of fell in love with Lucy Score as an author. She writes a lot of like slow burn instead of it being very like wholesome, kind of like Mariana Zapata vibes. It's a little bit more spicy than Mariana Zapata, so it has a little bit more of that in it. I truly love slow burns, but I want that like satisfaction of them being together and like you seeing them together a little bit longer. MMC in the book, his brother's high school sweetheart is our FMC in the book. So it's kind of like very angsty and it goes back to their childhood. They've like grown up together and you see like flashes of them together throughout, you know, bits and pieces of them growing up. It was just really good and I feel like it deserves a lot more hype than it got. Next question is a book you usually recommend. I'm gonna just say the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver, because who doesn't love an imperfectly perfect cowboy, rustic ranch hometown vibes, a really good time with good spice in there. It literally has all you could want, truly. It also always ends in an HEA, which I love, and it just makes you feel good. Next question is a book that made you cry. That is going to be The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Why? If you read the book, you know why. I cried like a baby at the end of that book. The story was just, it was a masterpiece. Taylor Jenkins Reid put her whole entire being into that story. It was so well written. I read that book probably a year and a half ago. That one really hit home for me. If you want to cry, if you want to laugh, if you want to feel all the feels, read it. Okay, we're getting down to the last two questions. This one is a book that has your favorite characters, and that's going to be A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, Rhysand, Cassian, Feyre, Asriel, who am I forgetting? Moore. What is the other girl's name? I'm terrible with names, but the entire ACOTAR series could not recommend enough. I mean, at this point, if you are a reader yourself, you've probably heard of ACOTAR. Some of my like all-time favorite characters are in that book. I mean, the fantasy, the romance, the book is also a masterpiece. I just love that book so much. And then the last question that I have is a book world that you wish you could live in. Going back to my last answer, A Court of Mist and Fury, they introduced the Night Court, and I wish I could live in the Night Court. It just seems so magical, so musical. There's so much art and dancing in the streets. It's just so peaceful. Like, obviously if you've read the books, then you know that it's like hidden away from the rest of Prithian. It's just its own little world. That's truly where I want to be. Also with Rhysand as High Lady of the Night Court. Anyways, that is all the questions that I have for the Booktube Newbie Tag. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know down below any other ideas of what videos you would like to see from me, and I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye!